All right, today I want to address a question about panic attacks after discovery. This person in particular said that they've been experiencing panic attacks and they want ideas on what to do when their panic is present. Now, a couple things about a panic attack. It's the body's way of saying, I don't feel safe. In that context, it's a physiological response that you may not even have any control over. So a panic attack is a physiological way that your body is saying, I do not feel safe. It's your heart rate increases, sweaty palms, your whole body can be sweating, it can be tense and it can be uptight. And at that point, the better thing you can do is to make sure that you are in a position where you can rest and breathe more properly. During a panic attack, your breathing is altered, and some of the things that you can do is to attempt to deep breathe. So you'd be going, so you might go for a 4 to 6 second in, holding it for a second, and then coming out for a 6 to 8 through the mouth. So in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Now that is a strategy that can actually help re-regulate your breathing pattern. So it's a breathing exercise that is specific to help you when you are feeling that anxiousness. The best thing you can also do is to be in a comfortable position where you're able to get enough oxygen. During a panic attack, your oxygen is reduced, or I should say, your breathing is this intense. So helping your breathing relax is a core strategy. Now, let's talk a little bit about the onset of the panic attack. You probably are aware enough that it's happening at this point, and when you start to see the signs, you can actually circumvent some of the intensity by just practicing your breathing. I suggest to individuals who have regular panic attacks to focus on their breathing. And doing that as a regular exercise is something that I strongly recommend. The reason why is because it's like a habit. The way you breathe can actually make you more anxious. So in fact, if you look at some of the instructors on breathing exercises, they tell us that we don't breathe right. Now that's kind of interesting to me personally, but as I think about it, when I'm stressed, how does my breathing change in contrast with when I'm, say, in the trees or walking on a trail, just observing the beauty of nature? My breathing is probably more relaxed and calm. So you can actually influence part of your anxiousness by the ways that you breathe. So that's an important thing to consider. The other part of it is when you're feeling anxious, it's probably best not to try to exert any energy doing anything significant. Take a breath, take a relaxation so you can breathe, sit down, lay down, focus on your breathing, and then when it's appropriate, analyze or reflect on what triggered that so you understand, not ignoring it, because we don't want to ignore what's happening. We ideally would like to give it a voice, but first of all, we're going to breathe, then we're going to give it a voice. If you try to make sense of it while you're anxious, it might just make matters worse. So focus on physiological response, relaxing the body. Then as it begins to slow down a little bit, you can maybe feel your body relaxing a little bit. You might reflect, get out a piece of paper and journal, or write a little bit about what you were thinking, what you were feeling. And sometimes you'll realize that you're having panic attacks and you don't know why. That's just the body's way of saying, I'm anxious, I'm anxious, I'm anxious. And at that point, it's the ability to say, am I safe? Safety is what we're after here from a physiological perspective. So turn on some music, something that relaxes you. These are additional strategies. Use your senses, smell, touch. These are all valuable ways to help when you're feeling panic. So I invite you to apply these in the times that you feel anxious, but also learning to regulate your body, learning to listen to your body so you're aware of when you're feeling anxious, and giving yourself a timeout. Giving yourself a deep breathing exercise. Take the time to do these things and you'll find it's much more effective when you're feeling anxious. All right, I hope this is helpful as you respond to your panic attacks. Thank you very much.